guys, it is Tristan with Nerdouts Newsstand, and we're going to talk a little bit about Shang-Chi. Now, I did a video initially when the first trailer was dropped, but I want to talk about the 25th Marvel movie. I have a lot of thoughts about it and a little bit of prediction as to where it may go, but really what this video is to talk about is the box office and the controversy surrounding it and all the issues that we're seeing happening around it. And it's not looking good at all. But I am generally looking forward to it. I'm hoping to be able to go see it in the theaters. I'm not sure exactly if I'm going to be able to, but I hope so. I would like to see this movie. The initial reviews, and of course, those are people privy to getting the movie early, have been pretty good from what I've seen. That doesn't mean a whole lot, but just putting it out there. So if you want to check out the trailer, I will put it in the pinned comment so you can judge for yourself, but I think it looks pretty decent. I do think that there could be a chance we see the oh so terrible Mandarin return. And I do think there's a chance we could see somebody like Iron Fist do a cameo. So I'm hoping for something cool like that because Shang-Chi was never my favorite superhero. But then again, I'm not sure Shang-Chi was ever anyone's favorite superhero. But the comics have been good. I think it's on 3 at this point. But even so, let's talk about the controversy. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. I want to know what you guys think of this movie. It doesn't seem as Marvel formulaic, but that could also be detrimental to it, right? So leave a like also. Now let's talk about initially what happened, because we need to talk about Bob Chapek. He gave these original comments when it came to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is coming from August 12th. So we're talking nearly a week ago at the Walt Disney Company's Q3 earnings result webcast. Yeah, that's a mouthful. And let's just say what he said. Okay, he said on Shang-Chi, we think it's actually going to be an interesting experiment for us because it's only a 45-day window. So the prospect of being able to take a Marvel title to service after going theatrical with 45 days will be yet another data point to inform our actions going forward in this title. Now, initially, I can see how Simu Lee responded, and we're going to talk about that, but I do understand the point he was going for, and I do think this was quite a bit of an overreaction. He was not calling anyone in the cast or the movie or the people on set experiment. He was talking about the theatrical window change. He actually goes on to say, we planned Shang-Chi. That title was planned on being released in much a healthy theatrical environment. And at this point, unfortunately, due to distribution agreements that we have and due to practicalities of last minute changes, it wouldn't be possible. Basically saying, you're not the experiment. The experiment is the release window. Well, that didn't matter because Simu Lee came on to his Twitter. And he basically said, we are the underdog, the underestimated. We are the ceiling breakers. We are the celebration of culture and joy that will preserve after an embattled year. We are the surprise. I'm fired up as fuck to make history on September 3rd. Join us. He thought initially he was being called the experiment. His movie, he's the star. I could see how you could take it that way, but I think when it comes to calling out anyone in a public way like this, especially your boss, Bob Chapek we're talking about. And I'm not a Bob Chapek fan at all. I definitely think he has done a lot of his actors and a lot of his employees real dirty. and the creators of those original pieces. Really, really dirty. But this time, Simile, in my opinion, was honestly wrong. He had no reason to think that he was being called the experiment. Not only that, but when it comes to your boss and just professionalism in general, you don't call off and go onto social media and call out your boss. It's just super unprofessional. And honestly, it probably looks bad for not only Bob Chapek, but for Marvel and Disney in general. Now, we did have Kevin Feige come in and talk about Simile, and he said he's not a shy man. I think in that particular tweet, you can see that. I think everyone does. Yeah. A misunderstanding. He said, it was not the intention. The proof is in the movie. And we swing for fences, as we always do, with the moment of creative energy we put into the budget. There is no expense spared to bring the origin story to the screen. Now, I think it's nice that, you had Kevin Feige come in and kind of smooth things over. But I think if anyone's to blame here, in my opinion, it's Simile. It's silly to think he was calling you an experiment. You're the first movie that they're doing this kind of, I believe they did it with New Guy also, but this kind of theatrical window on. Yeah, it's a little bit of a new experiment. You got to see how it's going to go, right? Kevin also said, when you have the opportunity to showcase a hero that looks like a huge segment of the globe, that feels like they haven't been showcased, the magic can happen if you deliver. I think Daniel Cretton and Simile have delivered for this movie. Now, I think they were hoping for something very similar to maybe Black Panther, which they're not going to get. They're not going to get. Kung Fu movies have been around for forever. Black Panther truly did something different. Not this case. There are plenty of old Kung Fu movies you can go and look at. And that's what it really reminds me of in an updated fashion, right? So let's move on to the next controversy. Oh my goodness. Disney just needs to stay out of the media. It's controversy after controversy lately with them. So let's talk about Awkwafina. She looks like she is supposed to be maybe the comic relief in this movie. I don't know. She comes off as a little irritating to me, but I've never seen anything she's in. So I'll try to withhold judgment. But a new interview surfaced from Vice that came out last year. And she said, I refuse to do accents. I'm not okay with someone writing the Asian experience for an Asian character. I make it very clear I don't ever go out for auditions where I feel like I'm making a minstrel of our people. Now, with saying that, there are people that are kind of calling her out on, her double standard. Because she said she's not making a minstrel out of her people. But we have seen her in other forms of media. Now, of course, again, I don't know because I am not privy to this. I have no interest in this type. But we actually see her kind of doing exactly what she said she didn't do. And using a black scent, so to speak. And people are really calling out her double standards, where she got famous for being an Asian woman who acts generally black, but she's okay with not doing it to her own people. Now, I get why people might be a little upset with that, but it seems pretty silly on her part to even make that statement. To even say, I don't do this, and then know in her past she has done this, and it's actually what made her famous. I don't know. I find it very, very silly, at least in my opinion, that this whole thing's going on. But it doesn't bother me. I have no issue with it. But some people seem to, and that could be another reason why. And that leads us into our next segment, the box office projections. And they are bad. Like, I don't mean just a little bit bad. They are atrocious for a Marvel movie. And if you actually look into them, and the numbers that I'm getting are from Box Office Pro, right? They've done this kind of tracking of the opening weekend, and it puts it in the range of $35 to $55 million. Now, you remember Black Widow, without the Disney Plus numbers, made $80 million. With made $140 million. So we're talking damn near $100 million less than Black Widow. And that was a absolute box office failure and caused Scarlett Jo to actually sue because of them putting it on Disney Plus and the theatrical window issue that they had previously worked out. That aside, at the highest estimate, it would barely tie the lowest Marvel movie. And that's why I mentioned in the beginning, this is the 25th movie. So we're talking 25 movies here. Now, the lowest movie in Marvel history is Incredible Hulk, which came out in 2008. It opened at $55.4 million. So I actually think there is a lot of reason why this is going on, besides it being a very unknown character, because Marvel can take an unknown character and make them popular. They've done it in the past. I do think, obviously, we could take into account here that there is a new Delta strand of COVID-19, right? That is obvious. Nothing has been back at the box office since. Not only that, but you want to add in some states having vaccination requirements for their theater going experiment, and kids under 12 not getting the vaccine makes sometimes older people a little bit nervous going, or parents a little bit nervous going, right? Add in that it is Labor Day weekend. Yeah, that's not a good opening weekend for any movie. And Asian people generally have their own superheroes, not to mention kung fu martial artists, stuff like that. Scarlett Jo controversy. The controversy we just talked about, both of them. And you've got box office failure. And that's a shame, because I don't think it looks terrible. And I can't wait to see The Abomination. I can't wait to see how they cover the 10 Rings. And this is not, tied into anything else. And I don't think that helps either. So I think there's a lot of reasons for this doing so poorly. And I am curious to see how it tracks. But it'll be a few weeks. Anyways, let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. If you have any interest in seeing the movie at all, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.